Joe, you ready for Alex
Sure.
Jones?
Fine.
All right.
Oh, I've been ready for
Let me
Alex
pull
Jones.
this up.
Okay.
Perfect.
They're fucking killing already more kids, so you're telling me it isn't real when they had a fucking vote in the damn fucking Senate?
Elon Musk buys Twitter for $44 billion, and now this African-American is considered racist. Hey guys, my name is Jason Wesley, and this is not a podcast. Now, as many of you already know, Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion. Now, the funniest tweet I read about this said, Musk spent $44 billion on Twitter. The world's population's 8 billion. He could have given each person $5 billion and still had money left over. I feel like a check for $5 billion would be life-changing for most people. Yeah, he wasted it all on Twitter. Now, this person must have taken Common Core math because 8 billion times 5 equals 40 billion. So he could have given each person $5 and not changed a thing, but that's basic math for you, even though math is considered racist anyways, according to Kathy O'Neill, author of Weapons of Math Destruction. As soon as this news broke, tens of people went to TikTok to express their disdain for Elon Musk, even equating him to Stalin.
Well, it looks like Twitter's gone. They accepted the money, and Elon Stalin is taking over. So fuck you, Twitter, and goodbye forever, you insane Q-like forum.
Elon Musk, this is directly to you. Enjoy Twitter. I just deactivated mine. I will not be reactivating it. Enjoy.
I deactivated my account and deleted the app. That's what I think of it. Elon Musk.
Today, Twitter has announced that they've been bought by Elon Musk, or however you say his name. I'm not interested in staying on Twitter anymore because of this, and I think there's a lot of people that are about to leave. So I just wanted to let everyone know that you can find me here. I'm going to also share this on Twitter before I deactivate my account.
Hey, I did a thing today. I deactivated my Twitter account.
Now, I have people unfollow me from time to time, and they always type it in all caps, unfollowing, to which I usually respond, this isn't an airport. There's no need to announce your departure because no one else is on the flight. Shortly after the takeover happened, there was a major shift in numbers on Twitter. Accounts like Taylor Swift lost 100,000 followers. Twitter says mass deactivation after Musk's deal are largely organic, following user reports that some high-profile Twitter accounts, including that of Barack Obama, were losing thousands of followers. The microblogging site confirmed fluctuations in follower counts largely came from organic account closures. Now, this is complete speculation, but I don't believe that for 1 second. I believe that the people over there at Twitter were removing products that openly violated Section 230. But on the day Elon Musk announced his Twitter takeover, 200,000 Katy Perry followers deactivated. Marjorie Taylor Greene gained 90,000 followers. Twitter confirmed to NBC News it wasn't bots. Apolitical users fled, right-wing users joined. Now, here's how I know they're lying. They said apolitical users fled. Have y'all ever been on Twitter? Have you ever had any conversation with anybody for any amount of time on Twitter? Would you say that they are apolitical? You mean to tell me that that is the place for civil discourse of anything other than politics? Project Veritas obtained leaked audio from an internal Twitter meeting after Elon Musk bought the platform.
How does the board and Mr. Musk plan on dealing with a mass exodus, considering the acquisition is by a person with questionable ethics? With no board in place, who will keep Elon accountable and how? Elon made it clear in public that a large part of the reason he bought the platform was because of our moderation policies and disagreements in how we deal with health.
Twitter service, the role of our policies, and the capabilities we've built around content moderation are fundamental to keeping Twitter safe and growing. I believe that there is a lot of work we have to do to continue making that better. Sometimes that means more thoughtful moderation. Sometimes that means making things simpler. Sometimes that means changing product incentives to be able to solve problems through products sometimes instead of policies.
During the last all hands, you said that you trust Elon Musk. The correct quote was, "We trust him." So who is we? And talking to Elon, what made you trust him?
And based on the conversation I had with him when we were excited to have him join our board, that was because as a major shareholder and an opinionated user, we wanted that voice in our boardroom so that we could learn.
Is there an updated understanding on what free speech means?
Twitter grows as a service, allows for more people to use the product and have a better experience because we're able to make the conversation on Twitter be safe, because we have built tools, processes for people to be able to feel safe and control their experiences.
The key words in what he said was control your experiences. Twitter controls what trends, what doesn't, how it trends, what gets exposure, what doesn't. It's always been about control with the left. It's never been about protecting you. Now, there's two ways that people that want to control you do it. They either do it out of fear or convenience. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis spoke about the Twitter deal last week and what legacy media wants.
And so, but they're saying, like, oh, this is so bad. It's bad for democracy because Musk believes in free speech. And I'm just thinking to myself, are you kidding me? But that is what they believe. Their view is that they should be able to control the discourse. They should be able to control what you hear and think. They should be able to impose a narrative on our society. And Elon Musk represents a threat to that.
And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
And if you don't believe him, here's CNN's lowest IQ employee, Brian Stelter's take.
If you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party? Or are you going to decide to stay home? And that's a question for Twitter users. Some Twitter users might love the idea there's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Others might not want to be anywhere near that. Am I crazy, Matt?
Yes, Brian, you're crazy. Washington Post. Elon Musk's vision of free speech will be bad for Twitter. Musk's appointment to Twitter board shows that we need regulation of social media platforms to prevent rich people from controlling our channels of communication, to which Elon responded, LMAO. The irony here is that the author of the article has a net worth of about $150 million, and the owner of the Washington Post is Jeff Bezos, a billionaire. Here's MSNBC's Ari Melber.
You own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election. Elon Musk says this is all to help people because he is just a free speech, philosophically clear, open-minded helper.
You can't make this stuff up. You mean like how former President Trump was banned on Twitter and how the Hunter Biden story was banned along with any other account that reposted it? You want the receipts? October 17, 2020. Twitter's still blocking a New York Post story based on alleged Hunter Biden emails. Newspaper's account remains frozen. October 14, 2020. Facebook and Twitter limit sharing New York Post story about Joe Biden. You mean how the mainstream media called it a Russian disinformation campaign to squash the story?
Biden's secret emails.
A really fishy story.
The Post claimed that the emails were found on a laptop computer that was brought to a repair shop in Delaware in the spring of 2019.
The FBI is now investigating whether those alleged Hunter Biden emails are actually connected to a larger foreign intelligence operation.
They may be related to a foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence operation.
For all we know, these emails are made up.
The information found on the laptop may be part of a Russian disinformation campaign.
Part of a Russian disinformation effort.
Described by many intelligence experts as having hallmarks, all the hallmarks
of a Russian
disinformation.
Russian disinformation.
Disinformation campaign.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
Remember how Press Secretary Jen Psaki pretended to not know anything about the Hunter Biden corruption a year after the report?
So there was a report last year from the Senate Finance and Homeland Security Committees. It claimed that the wife of Moscow's former mayor paid a company associated with the president's son $3.5 million. There was no explanation for this alleged payments, and I'm wondering if you could tell us if that claim is accurate, and if so, what the $3.5 million was paid for.
Not familiar with that claim. Doesn't sound like it's backed up by a lot of evidence. If you have evidence or specifics, happy to discuss it further.
Committee's report. So you haven't asked about this, or?
I'm not familiar with the report at all.
Remember how she was asked about Hunter Biden's business partners' visits to the White House, and she had no information.
On Hunter Biden, the New York Post is reporting, looking at White House visitor logs, there were 19 visits to the White House while the president was vice president by Hunter Biden's business partner, including one with the vice president. Can you help us understand why that business partner had access and what those meetings were about?
I don't have any information on that. I'm happy to check and see if we have any more comment.
Hell, even Joe Biden called it Russian disinformation during the 2020 presidential election.
Very quickly.
There are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
And that's exactly what.
This is where he's going. The laptop is Russia.
Gentlemen,
Russia.
I want to stay on the issue of race.
You
okay?
have to be kidding. Here we
Mr.
go
President?
again with Russia.
And these are the people that want to create a bureau of disinformation.
Here in the U.S., there's been an uproar in recent days about the Department of Homeland Security setting up what they call a Disinformation Governance Board. This has been mostly a Fox World story. It could come up earlier today on CNN State of the Union, but I don't think people know what it is and what it isn't. And there's just been a lot of right-wing uproar without knowing what it is.
Anyways, I show you that because companies like Twitter, mainstream media, as well as the current White House has symbiotically suppressed this story to a point where, had that not happened, according to a poll, 16% of Biden voters would not have voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Now, back to Twitter. Many conservatives, as well as people on the left, thought that the first account that Twitter would reinstate would be former President Donald Trump. And I never thought that was going to happen because he literally just launched Truth Social as an alternative to Twitter because of the censorship. Donald Trump says he won't return to Twitter if Elon Musk reverses ban. Elon Musk even tweeted this: Truth Social is currently beating Twitter and TikTok on the Apple Store. Truth Social, terrible name, exists because Twitter censored free speech. Should be called Trumpet instead. Now that actually sounds like a Trump tweet. Jack Dorsey, of all people, says that Elon is the singular solution that I trust. The idea and service is all that matters to me, and I will do whatever it takes to protect both. Twitter as a company has always been my sole issue and my biggest regret. It has been owned by Wall Street and the ad model. Taking it back from Wall Street is the correct first step. In principle, I don't believe anyone should own or run Twitter. It wants to be a public good at a protocol level, not a company. Solving for the problem of it being a company, however, Elon is the singular solution I trust. I trust his mission to extend the light of consciousness. I'm so happy Twitter will continue to serve the public conversation around the world and into the stars. Now remember, Elon isn't a Republican, and he's also not a Democrat. He's more of this kind of quasi-moderate libertarian. The racist Sunny Hostin, and yes, I am calling her racist based on the things that she's said, she says that Elon wants Twitter because he wants to give straight white men a voice.
Twitter is not the real world. And in fact, on Twitter, it is predominantly straight white men. So when Elon Musk says, wow, this is about free speech, it seems to me that it's about free speech of straight white men. And so let them have it. Let them just go at it.
I remember a straight white man that was banned from Twitter. See, because with leftists and racists like Sunny, the ideology is more important than the principle. So in her eyes, she's not racist and can't be because she's a minority female. So she's way down on the victimization scale that Marxists use to put one group of people against another. It's just those straight white men. It's just those Jews. It's just those blacks.
Those blacks?
Does that mean that Twitter is a racist company now? A stunning 99% of online political contributions made by Twitter employees in 2021 went to Democrats, according to FEC data. Twitter workers made 561 contributions through ActBlue, the Democratic Party-linked payments processor, versus just 8 through the Republican counterpart, WinRed. And of course, coming in last, one of the dumbest and most racist takes comes from Joy Reid of MSNBC.
The thing is, the enjoyment they get out of being in this town square is being able to harass people, being able to attack people. There was a time when people had the double hashtags around their names because they were Jewish, and right-wingers were saying, get in the oven anytime you made any benign comment on Twitter. They attacked women. The misogyny was crazy on Twitter for a while. Elon Musk, I guess he misses the old South Africa in the 80s. He wants that back.
I'm surprised this woman still even has a show. That's probably why her ratings are so low. The Readout garnered its smallest audience in April after nearly 2 years in existence, according to Fox News. Reid's show managed to only entertain 1.1 million viewers on average in April, a measure 31% lower from the same month last year. That figure is also 51% of the viewers the show garnered in its premiere month on July 2020. In March, the MSNBC host said that the world only cares about the invasion of Ukraine by Russia because the country is white and Christian. Just remember, it used to be that when someone called someone else a racist, it was because they actually were a racist or did something racist. Now you're a racist if you just disagree with the ideology of leftists and want more freedom instead of less.
And a good sign as to whether there's free speech is someone you don't like allowed to say something you don't like. And if that is the case, then we have free speech. And it's damn annoying when someone you don't like says something you don't like. That is a sign of a healthy, functioning, free speech situation.